Hello, grade 7s. Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. Today we're going to start 9.5, apply integer operations. Our focus after this lesson, you will be able to decide when to add and subtract integers in solving problems. So we will get right into this. We have an example here. Michelle Wie began playing golf at the age of 4. She became a leading amateur golfer in her early teen years. Michelle played her first professional tournament at age 16, while still in high school. That's just kind of a fun fact. Michelle Wie's my favorite female golfer for sure. I don't know if any of you are golf fans. Love me some golf. Anyways, back to math. The number of strokes an expert golfer should take to play a hole is called par. And par is equal to 0. The table shows how integers are used to compare a golfer's score with par. So here, the golf term, so a double bogey, is like +2 or +2 strokes above par, which is 0. Bogey is +1, which is 1 stroke above par, again, which is 0. Birdie is 1 stroke below, and eagle is 2 strokes below. So in golf, you want to get negatives. You want to be in the negatives. That means you have a better golf score because it means it's the less shots you took to get the ball in the hole. And if you're in the positives, like bogey, double bogey, and so on, that means it took you more shots to get the ball into the hole. Okay, so on the same hole, Rosa made an eagle and Samantha made a bogey. How many more strokes did Samantha take than Rosa? So we're looking for how many more strokes did Samantha take than Rosa. So first thing, that means we want to see the difference between Samantha and Rosa's. So we're going to start off with Samantha. Bogey. Bogey is +1. And we want to know how many more Rosa took. So that means we're going to find the difference. So we're going to subtract what Rosa got, which was an eagle. So that would be -2. So Samantha's bogey minus Rosa's eagle, and then we'll find how many more strokes Samantha took. So we're going to look at this. +1. When we're subtracting, it's like we are adding the opposite. +1. +1 plus +2 is +3. So then we can say Samantha took 3 more strokes than Rosa. All right, moving on. How can you decide when to add integers and when to subtract integers? In this activity, people are represented by different faces. Each face has an integer value. So we have this happy face means +7, neutral face is 0, sad face is -4, angry face is -10. A group of people with a total value greater than 0 is a productive group. So if these total up to a positive number, then that's a productive group. Decide if each of the following is a productive group. Show your reasoning. So here, we need to look at what the values of each of these faces are. So we know, using our chart up here, or a legend, this yellow happy face, +7. And we're adding a neutral, so 0. And we're adding a sad face, which is -4. And then we're adding an angry face, which is -10. So now we want to find the sum of all of those and see if it's going to be a positive, a 0, or a negative to decide if it's going to be a productive group. So I'm just going to take that information and I'm going to pool our positives and our negatives like we've done in previous lessons. So 7 plus 0, we know that's just going to be +7. And then we're going to add, and we're going to group our negatives together. -4 plus -10, that's just going to be a bigger negative, which is -14. So now we're adding a positive and a negative. Which one is bigger? The negative. So we know our answer is going to be a negative. And what's the difference between 7 and 14? Well, that's 7. So this is -7. Is this a productive group? No, not productive. Okay, I'll use a different color for this. I'll do this next example B, and we'll do this one together, and then I want you to try C on your own. So again, we have +7 plus +7 plus sad face is -4 plus -10. So we'll group our positives. 7 plus 7 is 14. And then we're going to add our negatives together, which is -14. +14 plus -14, well, that's 0. Is this a productive group? Value needs to be greater than 0. Therefore, 0 is not productive. All right, I want you to give this last one a try on your own. So pause the video, give it a whirl, and then when you're ready, you can press play and move on. Okay, so the solution for this one, we have happy face plus +7 plus neutral 0 plus 0 plus our sad face, which is -4. Group those together. 7 plus 0 plus 0. That's just +7, and we are going to add our -4. We have a positive and a negative. Which one's bigger? The positive is. What's the difference? That would be 3. Is +3 a productive group? Yes. Productive. All right. Moving on here. Okay, so we have a wind chill chart. I don't know why there's no title there, so I'll add it right here. Wind chill chart. Okay, we'll use a blue pen for this so that it is a little bit different from the questions. All right, so we have a wind chill chart here, and it gives us our air temperatures in degrees Celsius. So +5, 0, -5, -10, 15, and so on. And we have our wind speed in kilometers per hour going this way. And then depending on what our air temperature and our wind speed is, it's very much like a multiplication chart. We're going to line it up and figure out what our wind chill would be depending on the temperature and wind speed. So we have question 1 right here. What would the temperature feel like if it was -5 degrees Celsius and the wind was 20 kilometers per hour? So we're going to look at our chart and we're going to go to -5 degrees Celsius, which is right here. And we're going to go down our chart and find 20 kilometers per hour, which is right here. So this is the temperature, what the temperature would feel like with wind chill if it was -5 and the wind was 20. So this -12 degrees Celsius. Same kind of question. I'll use green for this one. What would the temperature feel like if it was -20 degrees Celsius and the wind was 40 kilometers an hour? So we'll go back to our chart. We got -20. And we're going to go down to find 40 kilometers an hour, which is right here. So -20 and 40 kilometer per hour wind speed. That gives us -30. Minus, let me get my pen back, sorry, -34 degrees Celsius. All right, I want you to do this next one. What would the temperature feel like if it was 5 degrees Celsius and the wind was 35 kilometers an hour? Pause the video, give this one a go using the chart, and actually give the next one a go too. So if the temperature felt like -15 degrees Celsius, what could have been the air temperature and wind speed? So just a hint, you might have multiple temperatures and wind speeds for this last one. Pause the video, give these 2 questions a try, press play when you are ready to move on. Okay. So the temperature would feel like when it's 5 degrees, so we're looking at 5 degrees here, and the wind was 35 kilometers an hour. So that would be right here. 0 degrees Celsius. And we have this last one. If the temperature felt like -15 degrees Celsius, what could have been the air temperature and wind speed? So let's pick a different color. I'll use red. So if the temperature felt like this is the temperature here, and I'm looking at the chart and we can see there's 3 different -15s. So what could have been the air temperature? So now we need to look and go backwards from our air temperature to find our values. So here we have 1 could be a wind speed of 45 kilometers per hour and so 45 and -5 degrees Celsius. That's 1. Then we would also have a 50 kilometer per hour and 50 and -5 degrees Celsius. And our last one would be 55 kilometers per hour and -5 degrees Celsius. So that's how we'd read a chart and come up with our air temperatures. All right. Last problem of our notes here. Apply integer addition and subtraction. On February morning in Saskatoon, the air temperature was minus 15 degrees Celsius. The wind speed was 20 kilometers per hour. By mid-afternoon, the air temperature had increased by 10 degrees Celsius. The wind speed had decreased by 5 kilometers an hour. Determine the change in the wind chill from the morning to the afternoon. Okay, so before we get into the solution, let's just pick apart this problem a little bit. So let's get a highlighter out here. And we're going to pick out key information. So the air temperature was 15 degrees Celsius. Wind speed was 20 kilometers an hour. This was morning. That's what we started with. Then, mid-afternoon, air temperature had increased by 10, and the wind speed had decreased by 5. And we want to know what the change in the wind chill from the morning to the afternoon is. So step 1. Let's get our pen out here. All right. So increased, what does that mean? That means addition. Decrease means subtraction. So the first thing we want to do is we started with an air temperature of minus 15 degrees Celsius, and it increased. So we have minus 15 degrees, and it increased by positive 10. What's that going to give us? Negative 5. Okay, then we are going to have our speed started at 20. It's positive 20 kilometers an hour. And it had decreased by 5. So decrease means subtract, and we're taking away positive 5. And that gives us 15. Okay. So now using this information, so this is kilometers per hour, and this is degrees Celsius. So now that we have this information, we can find that on our chart. So we're going to look for the minus 5 air temperature and the 15 wind speed, which gives us a wind chill temperature of minus 11. So now we've determined the change in the wind chill, and now we need to use the wind chill chart to find the wind chill values in the morning and in the afternoon, and then subtract the change. So we'll grab a different color again. And we started with, I'll use yellow because that's what I used to highlight. We started with minus 15 and 20. Right there. So now we're going to take that information and we are going to find the difference by subtracting to find the change. So we started with minus 24, which was the morning. And then we're going to subtract our afternoon temperature, which is minus 11. Afternoon. and we have a negative, and we're subtracting a negative, which means we add the opposite. Negative 24 plus 11. Well, we're looking at this. Which is our negative or positive bigger? Our negative is. And what's our difference? 13. So what was the change in wind chill? The change in wind chill was minus 13 degrees Celsius from morning to the afternoon. Sorry, got a little tickle in my throat. All right, so that is everything for the notes for today. I have also posted one last thing, so I want you to give those a try today and submit those to me by today. And tomorrow I will post some homework questions and some more practice for you guys to do. And this kind of wraps up our Chapter 9 Integers unit. Later on in the week, we'll do a chapter review. And then that'll be it for this week. Thanks.